everyone, and welcome to my channel, Tomcat Stitchery. I'm Whitney, and happy Friday. Okay, today I've got another Sew the Look for you guys. I'm very excited to share that, but before we get into that, today is Friday, which means it's time for another Love Notions Feature Friday. Today's pattern is the Sloan sweatshirt, guys. This is a great basic sweatshirt, has a few variations that go with it. It comes with the full bust front, comes in the full size range. It's just a really great pattern. And last year I actually did a video where I styled it 5 different ways. I'll pop a link up to that right up here. But just a great base pattern. Jess is over on the blog, I think it's the blog, showing off, she made it into a dress. It's really, really cute. She put a hood on it. It's just a really cute little sweatshirt dress that she made. But yeah, definitely go head over there if you're interested in some more inspiration. But the Sloan is $5 today only. And if you use the Tomcat 10, you can get an additional 10% off that sale price, which is a really great deal. So if you're planning on doing any cozy sewing, this is a great pattern to grab. It is decidedly winter right now, so it would definitely be a good one if you're in the Midwest to make up over the holiday weekend. Okay, actually, yeah, holiday weekend, next weekend. Okay, let's get started. I did a video back in, I think it was in September, maybe end of August, of ready-to-wear looks to recreate, and then I put them with patterns, and this is one of those looks. I did a Sew the Look in September, I did one in October, and now this is my one for November. I actually have another one that was kind of a one I wasn't planning on doing that I'll be showing you in December, and I'm very excited about that. The fabric arrived today, so it's very exciting. So yeah, so make sure you're subscribed so you don't miss that one. But this one, I mean, now that the weather has changed so rapidly, I probably should have done this one like at the beginning of all of my, fall Sew the Looks, but I didn't. So I feel safe that I'll have this paired with tights because our fall got cut rather short. Normally here in Indiana, we have a pretty long spring and a pretty long fall, considering. That was not the case this year. It felt like it really just, we had like 2 weeks and then it was just winter, which is unfortunate because our winters last for a really long time. It's okay though. Okay, so this look is from Loft. Things I loved about it. I love the simplicity. I've been wanting to make a bias cut skirt forever, so this appealed to me. I loved it paired with the little clogs. I could see this paired with tennis shoes, boots, which is what I'm pairing it with because it's cold, but in many different ways of dressing up and dressing down a slip skirt. A bias cut slip skirt, and I just really liked this one. It was just more casual, a little bit more casual way to wear it with the turtleneck and the jean jacket. I already had 2 pieces in my wardrobe. I had the jean jacket and the turtleneck. Well, the turtleneck was getting made anyway. You guys actually haven't seen, I haven't really talked much about it. I'll talk about it today. And I'll be doing a end of fall capsule wardrobe video, and this, and I made a second one, will be in that as well. So anyway, I already had those 2 in my wardrobe, and again, I'd been wanting to make a bias cut skirt for a long time, and I felt like I found a really good fabric match at Style Maker for the skirt. So that's kind of what inspired me to make this little outfit. And I know that you can't see Lena very well. She's not, back enough, but I will, I'll take the skirt off her here in a minute and show you the insides and stuff, because I did change the way I made the pattern. So let's first talk about what we've got on top and how I recreated that. So this is the Itch to Stitch Atlas jean jacket, and I made this one for the as a tester version when this pattern was released. Fantastic pattern. I don't know why I've not made more. I mean, how many jean jackets do you really need in your closet? But I mean, you could make it with other things other than denim. Like a corduroy one would be great, or even just a loud one. I've been really into dopamine dressing lately. Loud, bright colors. But I love this version. So this is the size 8 with the D cup. I love that this has cup sizes. It just, my ready-to-wear jean jacket that I've had since 1998. Fits me like a glove because I've had it since 1998, but it smashes my boobs. I can't fasten the front because it smashes my boobs. This one doesn't. I could button this up if I wanted to. Not that I ever would, but I could if I wanted to. So that's just nice to know. It's much more comfortable to wear. But I made this version actually out of a whole bunch of pairs, like 3 or 4 pairs of men's thrifted jeans. I just found jeans that were of similar colors because you can see the pocket patches that didn't get bleached out that are kind of here at the shoulders, which I think is awful fun. And you can see color variation on different parts of it, but for the most part, they were pretty good matches. And I think this jacket's a lot of fun. And it's a lighter color denim. My ready-to-wear one that I've had in my wardrobe forever is a darker denim. So I thought this was a nice alternative to have for that. And it's just a great jean jacket. I love this thing. It is unlined because it is a jean jacket, and yeah, I mean, per anything with Itch to Stitch, Kenneth just does such a great job at drafting and just all the details and finishing things off, and it's no exception with this one. But I've talked about this jacket before. I showed it on the channel when I tested for this pattern. Underneath that is the Love Notions Arlington turtleneck, and I had made the pattern, let's see, it was released, was it last year? Or the beginning of 2022 maybe. But I had made the banded kind of cropped version with the bishop sleeve. I had made the dress with the bishop sleeve. And I'd made my daughter, I'd hacked a couple for my daughter with the dockside collar, but I had never made just this regular turtleneck until someone asked me which I preferred, because I had been making the Hepburn by Itch to Stitch, which does not have a full bust front, and this does. And I'm like, oh, I can't believe I've never made the Arlington as just a straight turtleneck. So I did, and it's lovely. It's a more, it's a looser fit than the Itch to Stitch Hepburn, but I absolutely love it. The fabric I used is a cotton pointelle, kind of a ribbed cotton pointelle. It doesn't have great recovery, so there's not a lot of spandex in it, which is fine, but just keep that in mind. It doesn't have, and this is a more relaxed pattern, so it's okay that it doesn't have great recovery. So it just makes for a little more relaxed turtleneck, but it's gonna get so much wear in my wardrobe. I made the size, here, we'll just strip Lena as I'm talking here. I made the size medium with the full bust front, which is what I typically do with Love Notions patterns. And I just think it's so cute with the little bias cut skirt, among other things. Like, there's so many things that one can wear with the turtleneck. And then finally, we have, this is McCall's 7931, the bias cut skirt, and I'll pop a picture of that. There are a ton of bias cut skirts that are out there now. I feel like the slip dresses is very 90s. The slip skirts are just, you can kind of find those anywhere. But I used one I already had in my stash, which was McCall's 7931, and it worked really, really well. Okay, let me take this off. Lena is smaller than I am, so I had to clip it at the back. All right. Okay, so oh, Lena, she's so disheveled. We'll move her out of the way. Okay, so I cut the size based on my hips. So with the commercial patterns, the, I guess, Big 5 now with Nomi, I make a size 14. That is my size that I make in all of those patterns, but that is way too small for, it's actually too small for my full bust. I always have to do a full bust adjustment, but it fits me really well and through the shoulders, and it fits my hips really, really well. I'm just bigger in the waist and the full bust than a size 14 allows. But because it fits my hips, I usually will grade out. It's also problematic that a 14 is like at the top of the lower size range. So I can't like grade out to a bigger size at the waist, so I usually just kind of do my own. So I actually added, I think the finished waist on this was 29.5 inches, and my waist is 33-ish, 33 to 34 depending on the day and how bloated I am. But it's a skirt and I needed it to anchor at my waist. So I was going back and forth on how I wanted to do this. What I ended up doing, so the finished skirt on this waist was, the hips were going to be fine. The finished hip is 40, my hips are 40, but this is a bias cut skirt, so you wanted that measurement to match. Very little ease, because the fabric gives you the ease that you need to move around and all that kind of thing. Although I kind of ended up adding a little bit more. But what I ended up doing, you have a front and you have a back. I basically straightened that hip line out and ended up adding an inch at each side seam, so 4 inches in total to the waist, which gave me 33.5 for my finished waist measurement. Now, my waist fluctuates, bias can stretch. This pattern actually gets, the waist of it gets finished off with the facing, and there is a side zip here to get in and out. But what I decided to do instead of using the facing is that I faced it with elastic. So what I did was I mean, I sewed it just like I would have the facing, but I cut the elastic at 30 inches. So knowing that that would hug my waist and anchor it in place. And because the elastic is very sturdy, and then I've got a rayon challis that's going over it, I knew that I wouldn't have any problems with the waistband flipping to the wrong side. You know, that was gonna hug my waist really well, and then the fabric would just drape over. So what I did was I took and I did a stay stitch around the entire, I put my zipper in, and then I did a stay stitch around the entire waistband of the skirt at the 5/8 of an inch seam allowance. And then I took my elastic, you can kind of see here. So I took my elastic and I sewed it to the right side of the skirt, so it was kind of like right sides together, but I lined up the edge of the elastic just over that, actually just barely over that 5/8 of an inch line, and then I sewed like 1/8 of an inch in, so I kind of just tacked it down at 1/8 of an inch. I got a little crazy there, but sewed it down at 1/8 of an inch. And I was stretching the elastic as I sewed it so that I won't pop any stitches. But really, this doesn't need to stretch over anything larger. It's really just there to anchor to my waist and help with waist fluctuations and to keep the waistband from stretching out. This is 1.5 inch white elastic. So then once I had sewn it to the right side of the skirt, then it was just a matter of turning it to the wrong side, where that bead of fabric just kind of comes over, because this is the top of the elastic that kind of sticks up. And then I just tacked it right there at the side seam, and it got sewn just like a facing would to finish off that zipper. Clip my corners, and then that gets turned right side out, like so. So hopefully that makes sense. So when you're looking at the skirt, when it's not on my body, you see the puckers and the elastic wants to come out. But the minute it is anchored on my body, everything hangs just like it should, and I get all of the figure hugging that I want to get for that. I made view B, and I didn't shorten it at all because I wanted it to be midi length on me, and I think it turned out really, really well. I did serge my seam allowances. One side I serged the seam allowances together, and then the other one, because I was putting in an invisible zipper, I serged them and then pressed it open so I could put in that invisible zipper. I interfaced the area where my invisible zipper went, and then I just did a tiny little baby hem there on the bottom. I mean, this skirt took next to no time. And again, the only alteration I made was to make the waist bigger 4 inches, so 1 inch on each side seam. And I think it works really, really well, and I'm just really loving my new skirt. So this rayon challis came from Style Maker Fabrics. I'll link it down below if it's still available. I'll also link the fabric for the turtleneck in the description box as well. That came from Minerva if you're interested. Just love this. I just think it's such a great little fall outfit. Now obviously I've got it paired with boots right now because it's freezing, but I think it would be just as cute with my clogs or with little white tennis shoes. I think that'd be just really adorable. So there you have it. There is my Sew the Look for November. I hope you've enjoyed that and are inspired to maybe try your own Sew the Look. I will say doing a bias cut skirt with rayon challis is a little bit easier than if you were using something like a silk charmeuse or something that was also slick. Even a rayon that was a little slicker. Rayon challis has just a little bit more bite to it. It'll stick to itself just a little bit better than, say, a rayon twill or definitely anything with a satin finish. So anyway, I'm just really pleased with the way my little bias cut skirt finished, and yeah, upset with myself for not doing this sooner. Okay guys, that is today's video. It was a little, see, what are we at right now? A little shorter than normal. I just want to say, on Sunday, let's talk about plans a little bit. So Sunday, I've got a hack of the Love Notions Arlington. We're going to be hacking the sleeves and be taking off the cowl neckline basically and just making it a banded neckline, and I'm doing a pleated sleeve instead of the gathered puff sleeve. So that tutorial is going to be on Sunday, and then next week I'm actually going to have videos up on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, just the way things worked out. Got some Black Friday deals to share with you guys. And and then just some inspiration if you were sitting around, you know, if you're in the United States, the Thanksgiving is next week or next Thursday, and so if you're just kind of sitting around eating and just want some sewing inspiration to get your wheels turning, I've got three really fun videos for you guys next week. And then I don't know what next Sunday's Sunday sew-along is going to be. I need to figure that out though, because I've got family coming in town, and I am not going to be filming at all next week. So all this filming has to happen early. Not a problem at all. Okay, so that's all I've got for today. So definitely hit the subscribe button if you haven't already, because I have, again, really fun videos coming up next week, and my schedule is going to be different than normal. Instead of Tuesday and Friday, it's going to be Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and then Sunday. So definitely want to make sure you hit the subscribe button and the little notification bell so that you're notified whenever I post a new video. Okay. Oh, I'm wearing a newly knitted sweater. This is the circumference sweater by Lily Kate Makes. This is the one, it's got my kids' school colors, the blue and gold, that I was knitting for my son's tech gown. It's knit in Malabrigo Rios, which is a superwash wool, which, gosh darn, do these things grow when they're blocked. I even popped it in the dryer for a little bit inside out just to kind of, because the sleeves got super long, it just grew like crazy. And I even knitted it small so that I would, anyway, I think it's fine now. And it's meant to be a little bit boxier, but man, I'm loving it. It was so much fun to knit with the color work and feeling pretty proud of it. It took me forever though. I put this on my needles back in February, and just now, I mean, I didn't knit it all summer. So just now getting it off my needles. I've worn it a couple times. It made it to the end of soccer season where I got to wear it because my son's soccer team, his colors are the same as our high school colors, so that comes in handy. Okay, I think that's all I've got. Yeah, I think that's all I've got for now. I hope you guys have a wonderful weekend. I hope you get some sewing in. I hope if it's miserable and cold where you are, as it is here, that you definitely can snuggle in and get some sewing time in. Ooh, also, my sewing room has been redone. I've got some new tables, I've rearranged some things. That video will also be coming up, not next week, but probably the following week. Can't wait to show you what I have changed in my sewing room. And then I've got some other, well, I'll hint at some bigger things that are happening on the other side of the wall. All right, that's all I've got for today, guys. Yeah, I'll see you on Sunday. Bye.